Hi everybody, welcome, and if you hear small yelps in between, know that it is me. I think I've put my back out. I gave birth to 2 children, and boy oh boy, it is nothing compared to this, and it is going for the 2nd day. My bulins do not even help. I'm trying to treat myself, but if it is still the same by tomorrow, then I'll have to go see the doctor. I've had backache before, but nothing like this. Anyway, we'll see what tomorrow brings. For now, let's talk about what is going on in the world, especially in the world of King Charles III. I'm no one's moral compass. Geez, if I was, you would all be in deep, deep trouble, because 9 out of 10 times I cannot give a shit what other people do or how they live. I also treat people the way they treat me. So please, after I said what I'm going to say next, don't come at me with all kinds of accusations and name-calling. This is not about me, but about King Charles, the sovereign, the monarch, the head of state, and head of the Church of England. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about him coming out in support of the LGBTQ community when he attended the dedication of a new memorial at the National Memorial Arboretum yesterday. Personally, I have no ideas or strong feelings about LGBTQ or LGBT, none. Other people can live their lives any which way they want, as long as they treat each other and me with decency and respect. That is what they will get from me. And you know, it's because I'm old. I'm not on the dating scene anymore, so I just don't give a fig. But having said that, it is my rather strong feeling that a king and the head of church should not come out in support of any kind of divisive group or event or ideology. What he thinks and feels should stay within the walls of the castle. Not every person in this world is tolerant of LGBTQ, and many for religious or cultural reasons. And as King Charles needs to realize that he is king to all, also those who for religious and cultural reasons are not as tolerant of the LGBTQ as maybe many of us are. And I'm not saying we are tolerant per se, we are just accepting. Now, I find it difficult to explain my stance on this, but in order to try, I want to tell you a short story, although my stories are never short, are they? Anyway, my father believed that we had to be made aware of all the pitfalls and possible hardships that life could throw at us one day, and to do so while he was still there to guide, support, and teach us. One of those things was alcohol. If we wanted to taste anything, we could, but we were not allowed to, number one, help ourselves, but always under supervision. My dad surely would offer a taste, and during Sunday lunch we would each get our little one-tot liqueur glass full of wine, while the adults got their wine glass full of wine. My dad believed that alcohol should not present any mystery to us and should never be used as an instrument of rebelliousness. Today, out of the 3 of us, neither of us have an issue with alcohol one way or the other. We would partake over Christmas, New Year, birthdays and other events, but can't be bothered in between. We would rather spend our money on other things. Anyway, I digress. Everyone was aware of my father and his ways, and one day we were having a barbecue outside, and my dad and uncle each had a beer. My brother had never tasted beer, so he asked my uncle whether he could have some. My uncle asked my father, and my father said yes, he could have some. So my uncle handed my brother his can with, I don't know, quarter of a beer in it or a couple of drops, I don't know. But my dad jumped in between and told my brother to go fetch a glass. My uncle asked why, what's the difference, whether he tastes it from the can or from a glass. And my dad answered him and said, the difference is the attitude. And I did not believe that or understand that until I had my own children. Now, I see Charles's attendance to the unveiling of the statue to commemorate the LGBTQ soldiers and veterans in the exact same light, I guess. It's not who he supports. As human being, he's entitled to show support to anyone. But as king, it does not reflect the values or impartiality, but particularly the impartiality that he should have. Okay? My other issue with the memorial is that, number one, LG in particular have been fighting and had been very vocal for many, many, many years, seeking acceptance and equal rights. And now that they have it, they want to be held to a different standard, be honored separately. It does not make sense. What does it matter whether a soldier is or was gay or straight, white or black, or whether he or she has straight or curly hair or blue or brown eyes, etc.? You catch my drift. If you want to be accepted and treated like everyone else, then a memorial should be for all soldiers, not just one specific group. Otherwise, we can start asking for separate memorials for, say, all soldiers with red hair or all veterans with the first name William. I mean, if they really want to start doing that, then there are likely 1,000 or more ways in which we can start to separate soldiers into groups. I mean, there's short and tall, fat and thin. I think you know what I mean. Besides all of that, I saw that Charles was heckled as he was leaving the memorial site. Now, one guy in particular yelled out something like, "How long have you known about Andrew? Why or what did you cover up for Andrew?" etc. Of course, Charles ignored him and walked on. But maybe he will begin to understand how much damage Harry, Meghan, and Andrew had done to the monarchy. I do not believe that William and Catherine can fix it all. I would love to see them on the throne and to see them try. But unfortunately, all the drama around Harry and Meghan and Andrew had also opened the floodgates to so many other things, some going back many, many, many years. I mean, if you talk about Andrew, Epstein and Nygaard, you have to talk about Charles, Savile and Ball, and even about dear old Uncle Louis Mountbatten. Following on to that, there are now stories coming out left, right and centre about Prince Philip's many affairs, the Queen cleaning and hiding Andrew's muck until she couldn't anymore, and so on and so on. The number of salacious stories coming out is just astounding, and with each story and each scandal, the royal family is losing respect and supporters. I have seen real figures, true polls, and I'm telling you that the monarchy and its monarchs' favourability is at an all-time low. I mentioned this in conversation yesterday. If the true royals are starting to question the monarch and asking whether the monarchy is still fit for purpose, then I'm afraid the writing is on the wall. as much as I adore William and Catherine, I think the rot had set in far too long ago, and it had eaten away at the flesh and the heart of the monarchy for far, far, far too long. And I'm talking prior to Queen Elizabeth II, okay? I think Queen Elizabeth II brought some stability, but remember, there was also a lot of drama and criticism at various stages during her reign. And I mean, I think that is why we admire her this much, because she continued, she stood firm regardless of all this drama and scandals, etc. Anyway, so I hope I'm wrong, but looking at Britain today, I am painfully aware that William will have his work cut out for him, and a whole lot of it. Okay, now I'm going to deal with Harry and Meghan in another video. I cannot sit too long, so like yesterday, there will likely be 2 videos. I just think that the second video will be posted early-ish tomorrow, because I have some painting to finish, that of 3 wooden cats, before tomorrow afternoon. It was an order and the lady is picking up tomorrow. Year-end exams are also starting tomorrow, so you can bet your bottom dollar old bookworm will be in a bit of a haze for the next 3 weeks. Okay guys, so off I go. Take care and stay safe. Bye.